Newspaper Headlines, a program that provides a great sense of educational value.
This is the program where we serve you the menu of news making headlines from select national newspapers.
It carries information about politics, economy, entertainment, sports.
Alright, that is it on a sports update.
Business, industry, trade, and commerce. We carry the news of Nigeria and the world, bringing it right to the comfort of your home.
So many events happened from yesterday within and outside the country. Please stay with us as we take a look at the stories.
Newspaper Headlines, a program you cannot afford to miss, showing only on ACNN TV.
Hello viewers, it's another Wednesday morning and time to keep you abreast with events around the world on Newspaper Headlines. 8 papers arrived early enough this morning and we shall be looking at the front pages of these papers. Remember, you can join the program through phone call and our social media platforms. On YouTube is youtube.com/ACNN-TV. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/ACNN-TV. On Instagram and Twitter at ACNN-TV. And our website is acnntv.com. I am Phoebe Agimeyu. And I'll kick off the program with a look at the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. The lead story. Eviction. Protect Fulani in the South. NEF tells Buhari. Governors. Says no politician has right to outsource security to thugs, gangs. Act now before situation degenerates. Bashar Tofa. How Ondo, Oyo, others can manage headers crisis. Benue Deputy Governor. Bandits invade Niger communities, kill 21, kidnap 40. Air Force helicopter drafted to communities, injured rushed to hospital. 6 masked bandits in black kill locals in Kaduna community. Headers settlement attacked in Zangon Kantaf reprisal. See page 5 for the details. On page 13, herdsmen are kidnapping, destroying farms. Abia government. And the picture, stranded traders over COVID-19 protocols. Traders stranded outside the Wuse Modern Market yesterday after the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, mobile court on Monday ordered closure of the market over flagrant disregard to COVID-19 Health Protection Regulation Act 2021 by traders in Abuja. And beside the picture, Taraba Revolution series. Yes, a water revolution is indeed going on in Taraba. 150 billion naira, not 400 billion naira needed for COVID-19 vaccines. Peter Obi offers to help negotiate supply. Page 13. Federal government extends deadline of NIN SIM integration by 8 weeks. Page 9. Federal government begins sale of Desiani's jewelry, Bade's house, other forfeited assets. Page 8. Nigeria to get 140 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines in 2021-2022. Governors. Page 9. And above the masthead, affair for Vanguard. Private institutions, not money-making ventures, part 3, page 22. And on Business Magazine, pages 20 and 21, counting down to recession exit, the challenges, the prospects. Prince Tony Momo, we have lost one of our best, brightest, coming from IBB, Oshomole, Obaseki, Lawan, Uzodima, others. Page 14. And lastly, from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper on page 19, 13% derivation. 8 states received $1 billion naira in 11 years. And that is a report. Vanguard newspaper for you. Right about now is the New Telegraph, and we'll start with a story just above the masthead. Federal government begins sales of forfeited multi-billion naira assets. Luxury houses, ship, vehicles, jewelry, others to go. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 8. On page 25, NSC, profits taking drags market down by 160 billion naira. Page 25. And the stories below the masthead. Federal government extends NIN SIM leakage deadline to April 6th. Page 3. COVID-19. No vaccination, no pilgrimage. PTF tells Nigerians. Page 3. Buhari has never interfered in NNPC operations. Coming from Kari. Page 4. Kalu to court. Stop EFCC from trying me again. Page 8. And the lead story, Northern elders to Buhari, protect herders from eviction. Akeredolu, we must expel foreigners perpetrating crimes. Lawan backs end to open grazing. Reps backs governor. PDP to US, prevail on president to protect Nigerians. Pages 3, 4, and 26. And the picture is that of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, saluting President Muhammadu Buhari on his arrival from Daura, Katsina State, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. And this happened yesterday. 2023 general election. Electoral Act amendment will reduce violence. Coming from Senate. INEC engages stakeholders. Mouth polling units delineation. Page 4. And lastly on page 26, regular aspirin intake can reduce colon cancer death. And that is all from the New Telegraph newspaper. We have the Blueprint newspaper now, and let's take a look at the front page together. Beside the masthead, Shell to spend $5 billion on energy transition initiative yearly. Page 22. CBN's LDR policy triggers increase in banks' bad loans. Page 23. And below the masthead, COVID-19 vaccines safe, effective, PTF assures. Urges Nigerians to embrace it. Says State House Clinic to get testing laboratory. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 6. On page 9, Buhari area council chair's father kidnapped. The lead story now. For refusing to hold ransom meeting, bandits kill 25, abduct 50 in Niger communities. You can call in now and share your thoughts regarding these headlines. 3 others killed in Lere, Benin, Gwari. Nigeria lost 30,000 in 12 years. 3 million displaced, and that's a survey on page 14. Stop ejecting Fulani herders, NEF wants Nigerians. Don't attach ethnic, religious coloration to crime. Coming from the NSCDC. These menaces shall come to pass. Rufai, page 6. And the picture, former Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar and his wife being escorted by new Chief of Air Staff Lodayo Amao and his wife and other senior officers during Abubakar's flying out ceremony at the Air Force Base in Abuja yesterday. 7.65 billion naira fraud. EFCC wants ex-Abia Governor Kalu tried in Lagos, page 14. And the bottom strip stories, Transparency International's CPI report political, PGF boss, page 14. Our AAA rating affirms prudence, risk management, AFDB, page 23. Electoral Act targeted at reducing election violence, coming from Lawan, page 5. And on page 23, why pay-as-you-go model won't work in Nigeria, coming from Multi-Choice. And that is all from the Blueprint newspaper. Viewers, remember you can call in now and share your thoughts regarding the headlines. The number is on the screen. All right, let's take a look at Daily Champion now. And the lead story, Nigeria does not need more than 150 billion naira to procure COVID-19 vaccines, coming from Peter Obi. Fourth, federal government's poverty eradication strategies, page 6. Security, don't be emotional, minister tells critics. Oyo 6 end to gang wars, hoodlums activities in Ibadan. Convenes stakeholders meeting, page 3. And on page 7, government doctors begin indefinite strike in Ondo as Ekeredolu raises alarm over illegal immigrants in Nigeria, page 7. And there you have a picture of Peter Obi. State House clinic to get COVID-19 testing laboratory, coming from SGF, page 4. Buhari returns to Abuja after 4-day official visit to Daura, Katsina State. 2023 Igbo for President Solidarity Congress restates position, page 9. Soronlu congratulates Onyilola at 70. Commiserate with Dabiri Erewa over mother's death, page 6. On alleged fraud, Kalu asks court to stop EFCC from retrying him, page 4. Edo residents divided on April 6 new deadline for NIN SIM leakage, page 5. Tinubu editors mourn Tony Momo, page 6. And above the lead story now, Electoral Act amendment, polls to witness less violence, says Senate President. Electoral Offences Commission coming, page 8. Courtists face 21-year imprisonment in Lagos as police loud assembly over courtesan bill, page 6. And above the masthead, hoodlums burn police station, kill inspector, loot armory in Abia. Bandits kill 3 in Kaduna State. Discourage followers from giving information to bandits, Rufai, page 6. And on page 7, federal government berates Amnesty International over call for service chiefs prosecution. And that is all from the Daily Champion. Viewers, and still to come, we have the leadership, the Nigerian Pilot, the Daily Trust, the Nigerian Tribune, and sports newspapers to check out their headlines. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.
Every person who is charged with a criminal offense is entitled to defend himself in person or by a legal practitioner of his own choice.
Remember that an individual is entitled to remain silent.
citizen in Nigeria is entitled to maintain a private life.
You are approaching a military checkpoint or a police checkpoint without knowing that it's against or it offends them and subject you to a frog jump. That is wrong.
Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the newspaper headlines live from the ACNN studios in Abuja. For more on our catch-up programs, please visit our social media platforms all showing on the screen. And do well to download the VM Africa app, or Prime TV, or We TV Africa on any app store to watch us on the go. ACNN TV is now available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV. All right, we'll have the leadership newspaper to take a look at the headlines. Come along. The lead story, return home. Northern elders tell herders. Page 4. Seek justice for Fulani communities attacked in Southwest. Ask governors to provide accommodation for evicted herders. Stop anarchy. Adopt ranching. Na Aba, Utomi, Malafia tell federal government. And this picture we saw earlier on the NESG projects Nigeria's early exit from recession. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 4. And on page 22, federal government warns farmers against early planting. And that's all from the leadership newspaper. Remember, you can call in and share your thoughts regarding the headlines. The number is on the screen. Right about now is the Nigerian pilot, and just below the masthead, again, bandits killed 21 in Niger, injure over 40. It says again, the story of becoming one too many. IGP Adamu appears in uniform even on retirement, page 6. And the lead story, secretly executed. Activists accuse Nigerian army of secretly killing soldiers. Last of the several cases killed were 6 young Igbo soldiers. Lieutenant General Burata ordered their execution on eve of his departure. Nigerian army denies execution of the 6 soldiers. An interesting story, you will agree. The details is on page 8. And the picture, Chairman Interministerial Committee on the Disposal of the Federal Government Forfeited Assets and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, Mr. Dayo Akpata. Head, Assets Recovery and Management Unit of the Ministry, Ladidi Mohammed, and others during the on-site inspection of forfeited assets in Abuja yesterday. On page 11, protect Fulani communities in South, Northern elders urge Buhari. On page 10, IPOB supports Southeast governors on banning of open grazing. The minister explains on page 5 why NIN registration was extended. Ekiti restricts grazing activities to register herders and farmers, page 5. 400 billion naira too much for COVID-19 vaccine. I can get it cheaper, says Peter Obi, page 9. Electoral violence will go with Act Amendment in June, coming Formula 1, page 9. Nigeria's oil output drops 15% to 1.5 million barrels per day, page 8. And that is all from the Nigerian pilots. All right. Daily Trust arrived early enough this morning, so we take a look at the front page of Daily Trust. Act now before we lose Nigeria, Tofa tells Buhari, talking about the attacks on Fulani in Southwest. One killed as hoodlums raise head as settlement. Market in Ogun. Northern Elders Forum urged Igboho's strategy may lead to tribal war. Nance, page 5. And there you have the picture of the destroyed Fulani settlement in Ogun State. On page 4, IGP, you are trampling on the law, lawyers tell Buhari. Nigeria's economy to grow by 2.9%, NASG, page 16. Gunmen abduct father of Abuja council boss, page 26. Federal government varsity workers meeting deadlocked, page 4. And just below the masthead, Kanu residents protest against encroachment of Eid ground, page 4. 2023. INEC moves to create new polling units, page 22. Bandits kill 21, abduct 40 in fresh Niger attack, page 8. And that is all from the Daily Trust. We have the Nigerian Tribune to take a look, and let's look at the lead story. Northern Elders to Fulani. Return to North if ejected from South. That's an advice. Tofa says, attack on Fulani unacceptable, tension brewing. Ibarapa land farmers. Fulani returning, we are living in fear again. Commandant, strikes of 200 Amotekun officers in Ibarapa will soon become visible. Igagan youth didn't work out on marking day, Farmers Secretary says. Igboho's visit. One dies as hoodlums destroy Fulani leader's house, Kara Market in Ogun. Igbomina resists influx of headers in Kwara. And the picture? Some of the forfeited automobiles during a site inspection by members of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on the Disposal of the Federal Government forfeited assets in Abuja on Tuesday. As earlier seen, Federal Government extends NIN SIM leakage deadline by 8 weeks, page 44. Smugglers open fire on Customs Patrol team, injure 4, page 55. Apapa Port now connected to Lagos Ibadan Standard, MPA, page 41. Fire tells Chatham House, Nigeria mobilized over $95 million to combat COVID-19. 80 million doses of vaccines expected in 2021, page 7. And above the mastheads, Sultan, Obasanjo, IBB, others eulogize on Yilola at 70, page 39. Federal government establishes polytechnics in Oyo, Plateau, page 48. $40 million worth of jewelry seized from the Ziani to be sold off, page 53. Our decision on strike still stands. Non-Academic Staff Union and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria tell federal government, page 48. Hopefully, we have arrested impending strike, coming from Ngige. And that is all from the Nigerian Tribune. Up next is sports, and we have the Vanguard Sports on pages 36 and the back page. Let's start with page 36. All right, page 36 of Vanguard Sports. Champions League, Liverpool's clash against RB Leipzig under threat. Real Madrid president tests positive for COVID-19. Koeman not confident of Messi's stay. 2020 Olympics, the Tigress to face USA, France again. The Tigress draws Australia, others. Only backs revival of National Principals Cup. Villas Boas throws in the towel at Marcel. And lastly, from page 36, coming from his nephew. Please allow me to read some of the statements. Johnny Esposito, the nephew of Diego Maradona, who lived with the star at the time of his death, has revealed that the late legend was tired of living. Maradona says, I have already lived 60 years and I deprived myself of many things, and I do not want to continue like this. Esposito said it happens that he no longer wanted to live. He didn't want to live anymore. He didn't allow himself to be helped. I don't know why. And so, viewers, as we flip over to the back page, I beckon on you to allow yourself to be helped, no matter the situation. Life is beautiful, and every day counts. And now to the back page. Onyekuru's calls for Galatasaray. Murphy, it will be great to play for Super Eagles. Chelsea give to her condition for contract extension. And finally, let's take a look at today's fixtures. EPL, Burnley versus Man City, 7 p.m. Fulham versus Leicester, 7 p.m. Leeds United versus Everton, 8:30 p.m. Aston Villa versus West Ham, 9:15 p.m. Liverpool versus Brighton, 9:15 p.m. Coppa Italia, Napoli versus Atalanta, 8:45 p.m. Coppa del Rey, Levante versus Villarreal, 7 p.m. 9 p.m. League 1, Bordeaux versus Lille, 7 p.m. Metz versus Montpellier, 7 p.m. Reims versus Angers, 7 p.m. Rennes versus Lorient, 7 p.m. Strasbourg versus Brest, 7 p.m. Dijon versus Lyon, 9 p.m. Lens versus Marseille, 9 p.m. Monaco versus Nice, 9 p.m. PSG versus Nice, 9 p.m. Saint-Etienne versus Nantes, 9 p.m. All right, get the newspaper. You find out the FP Cup and NPFL fixtures for today. That is all from the Vanguard Sports. Viewers, I'm afraid this is how far we can go on newspaper headlines for this morning. Let's do it again on Friday, same time, same station. Until then, remember, love is God's greatest gift to mankind. So learn to love your neighbor as yourself. And your neighbor is not just that person that lives next to you, but everyone you meet on your way. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you.
Every person who is charged with a criminal offense is entitled to defend himself in person